Whether you are a beginner at baking or an experienced baker, you need to have these baking tools and utensils in your kitchen to make your baking professional and fun. For many of us, baking seems like a daunting challenge, like creating that perfect cake or that perfect cookie seems like a goal for many bakers. But I personally believe that anyone can bake and master their skills by using right tools. So let's learn the top 18 baking tools that need to be in your kitchen while you are baking. Also, we'll understand the usage of each tool. So before getting started, as I always say, please like and subscribe to my channel and join our YouTube family, and also don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated with all my new videos. So let's get started. First is a sifter. Sifter actually helps in incorporating air into the flour, which results in a very light and fluffy cake. So if you always get a dense cake, then try sifting the dry ingredients at least 3 times before mixing them into the wet ingredients. Next are measuring cups. Measuring cups are one of the most useful baking tools. These are dry measuring cups. So basically these are used to measure dry ingredients like flour, sugar. Next are measuring spoons. Measuring spoons are used to measure dry ingredients or liquid ingredients. Usually whenever we have to measure baking powder, baking soda or salt, we use these measuring spoons. Now here I've given a chart of dry ingredients equivalents. You can click a screenshot of this as this is very much helpful in baking. Next important baking tool is a measuring jar. It is used to measure wet ingredients like oil, milk, yogurt. So basically it's used to measure liquids. Next is spatula and brush set. It's basically a rubber tool. It's one of my favorite tools because it's so useful. It can scrape the sides of a bowl, help in mixing. Also pastry brush. It's used for greasing the pan with oil. Next is a hand whisker. It's basically used to whisk the batter. So whenever while baking you feel like you are in a hurry or you want to skip the sifting process, just whisk the dry ingredients as it performs the same function of aerating the batter. Baking with silicone molds is becoming very popular as you don't need to grease them, and also the cupcakes doesn't stick to these molds and get very easily removed. Honestly, I used these cupcake molds the very first time when I was baking red velvet cupcakes, and the cupcakes got out of the mold really easily. If you want to know how to bake these perfect red velvet cupcakes, you can just click on the link above and watch the recipe. After the cupcake molds comes these liners. These liners prevent the cupcakes from sticking to the pan. Also, they keep the cupcakes moist and give a very decorative look. Butter paper. First, let's learn how to line a cake pan with parchment paper. First, tear your baking sheet slightly bigger than the pan. After cutting the butter paper, try folding it till you get a cone shape. So basically we have to fold our butter paper into a cone shape, and then we have to place it on the center of the pan, and we have to trim the extra edges with the help of a scissor. After the extra edges are trimmed, open your butter sheet and spread it into your pan. If you will follow these steps carefully, you'll never face a problem while lining your cake tin with the butter paper. Now we can see that it's very perfectly done. The cookies baked on the butter paper easily slide off the baking sheets. Also, the cakes flip easily out of the pan when they are lined with butter paper. Next are baking tins. My top favorite is this cake tin with removable base. Just remove the bottom and you can use this base for many purposes. For instance, I used this base while I was baking cheese burst pizza. If you want to see the recipe, you can click on the link above and watch it. Next is this round shaped cake tin. Also, I have this heart shaped cake tin. This is a bread baking tray. This is used for making dry bread cakes and loaves. Baking gloves. Baking gloves are very important to wear for the safety purpose. These gloves are actually padded and heat resistant. Next is an electric mixer. It can be used for making whipped creams and for mixing. Also, it can be fitted with the kneading beater to knead dough for making pies and biscuits. First, let's understand how to fix and eject the beaters. For instance, I've taken my kneading beater and I'm fixing it in. Now to eject it, I'm pressing the eject button. It will automatically come out of the mixer. Now let's understand the baking tools that you need for frosting your cake. First, a piping bag. It's used for decorating cakes, pies, and for squeezing doughs, batters, and creams. It can be filled with different nozzles. The most common nozzles used are star and round shape. Next is the straight icing spatula. It's used in leveling icing uniformly all over the cake. It's also used for layering the cake with whipped cream. Next is this offset spatula. It just provides a very beautiful finishing to the cake. Also, it can create swirls and smooth surfaces. Cake scraper. It's used to smoothen the edges of the cake. It scrapes the sides and it adds a touch of professionalism. Fondant cake smoother. As its name suggests, it's used while making fondant cakes. Coming to the last baking tool, which is the cake turntable. Basically, the cake is placed on this while doing frosting and it can be rotated while applying the icing. So these were all the important baking tools. I think I've covered all of them. So if you like the video, then please do like and subscribe to our channel and join our YouTube family. And please don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated with all our new videos.